Hey, hey, this is Mikey Smiles in Miami, having a good time. So, a lot of things have been happening, a lot of observations that I've been making about myself, about my peers, and get back here. So, I wanted to talk about male sexual identity in the in from a gay's perspective. I feel that we get our primary roles from home, mom, dad, what they say and how we should act, right? Because from there, there's more of like a cultural reference. For example, in some cultures, males are supposed to be this way, and on the contrary, roles for females. Now, when in these family systems where when there is a paternal figure, either it's dad himself or grandpa or uncles to instill um, desirable male behavior, there's going to be inevitably the male emulating traits of the matriarch, of the mom. Why the brain is like that, and that we will um, pattern behaviors. It's not like we do it consciously. It just happens unconsciously. We mimic what we see or how we're raised. We're exposed to, like how in Italian cultures they'll talk with their hands, or in Indian culture they'll do the little head thing. So things like that is the more of development tendencies. Okay, so as a young boy is going, developing from toddler into adolescence. Now he's now more exposed to media, which are giving him cues on how to be a man. From big screen television, from music videos, from music. Maybe there's a faith based impartation that's coming into perspective. So he's now given more reinforcements, or there might be more of contradictory behavior. For example, if he battled with, if he was raised in a female home, and he has traits that are effeminate, if he's being ostracized or rejected for behaving like that, by other males, or by other males, or society that looks down on him. Oh, he's a da da da. He's a sissy. He's a fag. Da da. And even if it's not about him having traits, I mean, having the desire to be for homosexuality. I'm just talking about behavior. There's gonna be this internalization of I don't want to say hate, but a self-dislike. And it's going to be a conscious way of him shunning the behaviors that are deemed undesirable because of the negativity that he's getting. So I'll make this simple. There's this kid, he has feminine tendencies. He's getting rejected from the peers around him because he has feminine tendencies. Now what he's going to do, he's going to, really shun or try really hard to shun those characteristics which he's developed. You know what I mean? Developed meaning because it was through conditioning, right? Okay. A lot of males struggle with sexual identity. I'm gonna tell you, I did. Okay, it's more favorable in gay culture to have a more hyper masculine traits or tendencies, because like the heterosexual world also, where, for example, the image of Batman, originally how he was someone in his heights, to now he's very muscular definition in this costume that's really so there's this trending that goes towards males being really hyper masculine, and the behaviors must emulate hyper masculinity because it shows alpha male traits. We run this, we're dominant, we're the top dog, And that comes from years of developing behaviors, and it comes around something having to do with some primitive part of our lives where we were taught to be the strongest for survival. So it's all patterns of behavior. Anyways, in gay culture, there is a struggle with males and identity, not having the ability to embrace who they are or who they've developed to be. In our gay world, we've been ostracized, we've been condemned, we've been made fun of, made poked. Get the joke. Poked at because of these traits where male are exhibiting sort of like female tendencies. So this is kind of this not really hate, more of like there's this self-dislike of one's own natural developed behavior. So I feel in my experience, as well as observing others, we would try to, I guess, put on a disguise, change our natural character to be something that we're really not. Number one, it could be because of the conflict of being, taunted about how a man, how you're not manly in the sense of your behavior, things of that nature. However, when one is able to start liking and loving themselves for what they are, I feel that's such a great transition. And I'm in that process of not caring anymore and just accepting who I am. I remember, like I said in other videos, how I used to, put on a persona in the sense of how I was dressing, how I would adorn myself, because I felt, okay, if I dressed like this, it was more appealing, and because it's more appealing, I would get more So it's around that, the same thing in nature, where, males were, demonstrating their elaborate beauty, through how they, their body, male animals, as well as fighting, because in the end result, it would be that they were going to be able to have procreation. So it's the same thing that we do, this animalistic part of us, which we think, okay, if I change something that I don't like in myself, something that I don't like in myself because it's not deemed as worthy or desirable, it's all about, getting, maybe it's all driven sexual in nature, So, yeah. Anyways, where was I? Okay. Yesterday, someone who I don't know, he said he knew me. I was having drinks with friends, and it was my friend's acquaintance that he just met. He said, I know you from, 8 years ago, you were in front of Escolita, and you've changed, you were a little more tigre back then. And I'm like, I didn't know the kid, so I was a little like, I wonder what he means, like, the only thing I knew, I used to wear a fitted back then, but I was wondering, and I was actually proud of myself that I was like, okay, your point, what you're trying to say, I mean, I don't care. Y'all know me. No. But developing healthy identity revolves around this. Being happy with who you are. However you choose to express yourself, whatever type of behavior you do, it should be the behavior of you and that you're happy with. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a battle and a struggle, and you're always going to have to perform. Like when you're trying to pretend that you're straight or, not be in the closet, that amount of anxiety and constant, let me check my ways, how am I dressed, Am I saying the right things? Da 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 da. Just to not let anyone think that I'm gay. You know what I mean? It's sort of like that. It's just so tiring that somebody has to have those behaviors, or to always be be having some type of self-evaluation to make sure that they're I guess manly enough. So don't do that. It's gonna kill you. It's gonna destroy you. Number one, the beauty of a person, and if they should like you, it's because of who you really are, not who you're trying or pretending to be. Okay? This is a huge topic, male identity. There are courses in college and lectures about this. But it goes around you loving yourself and finding, your self-worth, and just not having to try to want to impress anyone else. Just be who you are. And I've learned and I've gained more respect for males who adorn themselves in a certain way and really are counter to what the normal norm is. What the normal norm is. What the norm is, So, in short, ending, just love yourself. Be happy with who you are. If you're a little sweet, if your tea is a little sweet, it's fine. There's going to be someone who likes that. You don't have to change yourself for anyone. That's what I'm pretty much saying. So this is Mikey Smile saying mucho lavo, Teresa's, and hopefully you won't see me on the news in Miami. Yeah, boy. Think about what I said. Let me know your comments, and we'd love to hear from you. Mwah!